StrayAllDay.com. DreAllDay.com or WorkOnYourGame.com as well. We're going to talk about why I want to rebrand this and start calling it Daily Discipline instead of calling it the Daily Motivation. First of all, I am a big proponent of discipline over motivation, even though I've called a lot of stuff motivation. I send out motivation text, I send out a Monday motivation text, a daily motivation text. One of the things that first got me started talking about mindset, period, online was a weekly motivation video I used to put out every Monday here on YouTube. But at the same time, and actually, let me back up. And the reason why I would use the word motivation is simply because that's what I know a lot of people look for. A lot of people go looking for motivation. So if I want to be found by those people, then I use the word motivation, even though I've always believed in discipline over motivation. So now I'm going to start calling this a daily discipline because that's really what this is about. And the only difference between the discipline and the motivation, the only real difference is not that I'm going to give a different message just because I'm calling it a daily discipline. It'll be the exact same message. What's different about it is discipline shows up every single time and does its job, whereas motivation comes and goes. All right, there are times that you're motivated to do something and your energy is really high, you're doing all the stuff you're supposed to do because you're motivated. But there are times when you're not motivated. If you don't have the discipline, then you're not going to do anything. Nothing happens when you're not motivated. That's the problem. And especially if you are a professional or you want to be a professional. If you want to be a professional, that means you're doing something as your main paid occupation. Let me ask you a question. Who would pay you to do something if they don't know when you're going to show up and do it? If they can't depend on you, if they don't know that you're consistent at what you do, would anybody pay you for something they don't know what they're going to get from you? Let me ask you a question. Would you pay somebody if you didn't know when they were going to show up and how well or how consistently they would do their job? Would you pay yourself if you didn't know if you were going to show up and consistently do your job? It wouldn't make any sense. You would go out of business. You go broke. You'd be financially insolvent paying someone for whom you cannot depend on their performance. It's the same thing when it comes to you. You want to be a professional at what you do. Most important thing you need is not motivation. You need discipline, because there will be days you don't feel like working. You still got to show up to work, and you still got to deliver as if you feel great. You got to deliver as if nobody should be able to tell whether you're motivated or not, excited or not, you feel good or you feel bad. No one should be able to tell how you feel based on your performance on a daily basis when you are a professional. If you are a true professional, I shouldn't be able to watch you work and say, all right, he's motivated today. No, she's not that motivated today. I shouldn't be able to tell. It should be the same every single time. That's consistency. That's reliability. That's what people depend on. That's what discipline looks like. Now, motivation is up and down, because some days you got it, some days you don't. Your performance shouldn't be like that. You want to be a pro. What's the most important thing they talk about in pros? Consistency. You watch sports. Or what do the analysts say about any player? Consistency. What do the coaches say about players? Consistency. I want to know what I'm going to get from you every game. As long as I know what I'm going to get from you, then I can depend on you. Even if your performance is not amazing, as long as I know you're going to be like this every game, I'm good. Now, if you're like this one game, then this, then this, then this, then this, I don't know what I'm going to get from you. I can't depend on you. I can't game plan with you in mind because I don't know what you're going to do. You might be up here one day, you might be down there the next day. The team can't depend on that. But if you're steady like this, I'd rather take the steady person than the person who's up and down. Why? Because human beings are creatures of habit. We like things that we can depend on and we can rely on and we know what we're going to get. We like to know what we're going to get. We do not like surprises. So if you want to be a professional at what you're doing, you need to be consistent and you need to be disciplined. So that's why we're going to start calling this message the daily discipline instead of the daily motivation, because that's really what it's about anyway. So with all that out the way, I still am sending out a message that I call the daily motivation. You want to get that every day. You want to get my Monday motivation every week. All you got to do is text me at my number, 305-384-6894, and we'll give you your options for which messages you want to get as soon as you text me. And my text community is free to join the community. So just text me right now. Numbers down below in the description. WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. That's where I do all my coaching. You want to work with me directly. You want me to coach you one-on-one. You want to be in my group masterminds. All you got to do is go to WorkOnYourGameUniversity.com. That's the only place I do any coaching. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time we drop a new video here on this channel. Work on your game. Dre, all